Okay, so the first thing we need to do when we get this is we need to come in, we need to put our numbers in stat. So I'm going to go to the stat button. You can see it right there. And then I'm going to go to edit and I'm going to type all of my numbers in. So 0, 5, 7, 12, 19, and 28, and they're all typed in. So hopefully I typed them in correctly. Now I'm going to quit, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit stat, calc, and then do linear regression. There's linear regression ax plus b, and most of you, here's a linear regression a plus bx. They're actually the exact same thing. The only difference is which order the calculator gives you your numbers. So if you pick ax plus b, it'll give you the slope as a and the y-intercept as b. If you pick this option, it'll give you the slope is, or the y-intercept is a and the slope is b. So it'll do the exact same thing. It just tells you, it'll do the exact same thing. It just tells you slightly, just the order in which it tells you your answers are slightly different. I'm going to choose this first one because it's the easiest one to get to. So I'll choose it and I'll hit enter. And what you can see is it gave us our linear regression line. So that's our line. Now you may be asking, where's the y-intercept? Well, some of you will already have the y-intercept printed right here. If that's the case, congratulations, you're done. You can write, not the y-intercept. You might ask, what's the correlation coefficient, r? Some of you already have r right here. If that's the case, congratulations, you're done. If that's not the case, let's do a little bit of work. So we're going to make our calculator tell us r. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to go to the catalog button. Catalog is a button you don't use very often, but what it does is it has every single command your calculator could do. So second, catalog, and what you'll see is here's a list. Every single command programmed into your calculator is somewhere in this catalog. And I'm going to keep scrolling down until I get to the one called diagnostic. Diagnostic is nice because it allows those R's to show up. So you hit diagnostic on, click it, and hit enter, and it'll say done. Okay, great. Now we'll go back to stat, back to calc, back to linear regression, and hit enter. And you'll notice now I have the same values, but I've added R and R squared. So I have all my values here in my calculator. Hopefully it makes a little bit of sense. And there you go. I also have instructions in the notes if you want to figure out how to make your graphs pop up. It's not super hard to do it. To make your graphs pop up, you go to y equals, and then you have to turn on your plot. And hopefully that makes your graph show up. And then I always do zoom, and there's a zoom stat button, and that zooms it right on that zooms your dots just perfectly. And so see, it scaled everything so that it fits the exact scale I wanted, and there's the dots. And you see that looks pretty close to what we had earlier, doesn't it? They're all pretty similar. Okay, if I wanted to add my equation after I've already ran the regression equation, I have to go to variables, which we've used a little bit. We've used the distribution button, and then go to y variables. Let's see, is it variables? Yeah, statistics, and then equation and regression equation. And what that'll do is that types that equation in for you. You could type it by hand. You could just write in those numbers and type it by hand. And then hit graph, and what you see is there's that line going right down the middle. So you've got that line that goes right in the middle of the dots. That's that line that's the closest we could possibly come to hitting every dot. We don't hit them all, but that's as close as we can ever come. And you see, we didn't do a bad job of approximating all this earlier, did we?